Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, March 15th, 2019. Welcome to another eBay video. Today we're going to be discussing how to deal with difficult buyers, specifically buyers who open returns for not as described, even though the item was described correctly. I'm going to cite 3 examples of this that I had personal experience with recently. I think you guys will find it very interesting and hopefully enlightening. We're also going to discuss your comments, questions, and concerns from last week. Plus, I have 2 guests today that would like to share their wisdom with you. Before we get started, I hope you guys realize that I am clairvoyant. You may remember last Friday, I said to you guys, I can guarantee you that next Friday will be cloudy and murky as always. And as you can see, it's cloudy and murky. I'm going to make a prediction right now, today, Friday, March 15th. Let me see if I can predict this. Yeah, I predict next Friday is going to be cloudy and murky. They already said Monday is going to be cloudy with snow showers. Can you believe it's the middle of March and we're still getting snow? Unbelievable. It's cold. Anyway, let's get right into it with your comments, questions, and concerns from last week's video. On returns, Tim Kincaid wrote, "There's only one thing to do about unsolicited returns. Nothing at all." And I think that was very well put. Short, sweet, and to the point. 2 people wrote in with questions. Shore Essentials wrote, "Hi Joe, this topic doesn't have anything to do with this video, but I'd like to hear your thoughts. With eBay making the changes they're making, I decided to try throwing out some offers to watches. I did this with 4 items that had been sitting longer than I'd liked. Within 2 days, 2 of those items sold. Not for the offer price, but for the full asking price. I wonder if by putting offers out there, eBay search engine views that as activity and boost them in search. What do you think?" To be honest, I can't succinctly answer that question because I do not yet have the feature send offers to watches. It's being rolled out slowly and not everybody has it yet. So I've never tried that. But if it's working for you, I say stick with it. Liam Renato wrote, "Hi Joe, if you're actually relisting and change the price at the same time, it may not be the relisting that is the factor. It may just be the decrease in the price that's the factor." Very possible indeed. But as long as I'm making the sale, I'm glad to see the items go and the cash come flowing in. On Fitchy Returns, Hungry Man wrote, "Hey Joe, thanks for the great video as always. Today I also had a very Fitchy return request which I want to share. I've never had anything like this in my 11 years as an eBay seller. I sold an item and the buyer messaged me after buying that he will pay after 2 weeks. It was possible because I do not require immediate payment for any items, even though I should do that. But I said, okay, no problem, you can pay after 2 weeks. And now after 2 weeks, the buyer opened a return request, which was automatically accepted, even though he never paid. Neither did I ship nor receive anything to return to me. Now, of course, I'd have to call eBay to get it fixed, removed, but calling eBay always costs me time, which is money. At least that call would take 30 minutes or probably more. I mean, how does eBay allow anything like that? Sir, the same thing has happened to me several times in my selling career, and I'm with you. I don't think a buyer who hasn't paid should be able to open a return request. It's unbelievable that this could even be allowed. There should be stopgaps in there to prevent such a thing, but there aren't. And quite frankly, you know, what can I tell you, man? 5797029, Mike wrote, "Joe, I think you need a break from your extreme weather. Sunny and 82 degrees in Orlando again. Come on down, the weather and water are fine. Question, do you carry the Fox News Cup O' Life mug around with you, or are there actually 2 of them? One for home and one for work. No unsolicited returns for over a year, but plenty of wacky buyers. I did have a return open last night for a like-new Ford Fusion taillight, $55 plus $15 shipping and $15 return shipping. And the reason was I just didn't like it. What? Okay, to answer those 2 points, number one, I only have one Fox News Cup of Life, and it's the same one that travels with me. It is insured by Lloyd's of London for millions of dollars. And as for your return, my guess is he found it somewhere else at a cheaper price, or maybe even sold the car with the cracked lens. On sales, Crosswalk Larry wrote, sales so far this month are dismal. I'm running Markdown Manager and promoted listings. I've made 2 small sales so far, and somehow my sales, according to eBay, are down 242%. How is that possible? Unless you have the money to stock your store with 500 items or more, it seems like being a small seller is not worth the time anymore. And with USPS and eBay creeping their rates up every 6 months, soon it will be even less of an option for selling online. And the funny thing is, eBay doesn't even seem to care that they are a recipe for being Amazon's BH. On promoted listings, Wooden Stuff with Steve French wrote, and I'm truncating this comment for brevity. Thanks for another great show, Joe. I don't think I've ever had an unsolicited return in my 6+ years selling on eBay. I want to thank you, Joe, for telling us about the promoted listings at the 1% rate. It costs very little, and as you pointed out, it gets you an extra appearance in search. Best of all, I've been changing my listings to have the 1% promo rate and had a big boost in sales. Previously, I almost never did promoted listings, and when I did, it was almost always more than the 1%, and it almost never did anything for me. I'm glad it's working out for you, Steve French. I hope you make continued great eBay sales. While we're on the topic of eBay sales, my sales have been killer again this week. I think this is the 4th straight killer week in a row. I'm making great money, great sales, but the more I sell, of course, the more returns that'll come in, and we'll get to that later on. Rainmaker89 wrote, just subscribed to your new channel. Really glad you created it. I was a big fan of your old channel with your childhood stories about your bike, the school bus, etc. So looking forward to watching more videos like that. They're always really interesting and entertaining. For those of you who didn't catch my video last week, I am starting a second channel, which will be true stories about growing up that I think you guys will find interesting. And also, I'll be talking about current events and current stories. It'll be a mature channel, an MA rating instead of a G rating like I have on this one. But all of you are invited to subscribe to that channel, and the link will be in the description box. It is just starting to rain right now, so forgive me while I run in and get my PayPal hat. I'll be right back. Speaking of hats, I was just awarded and gifted this brand new eBay hat. Okay? Brand new, beautiful eBay hat. I will be wearing this hat in future videos proudly. Leo Slick wrote 2 comments. The first one is, fine job as usual, sir. The best part of your vids is that you're passionate about what you believe. Yes, I am. I'm very passionate about selling on eBay, and I encourage everybody to sell on eBay. You'll make money, but I'm also a realist, and when things don't work exactly right, I will come out here and I will tell you that. And I think everybody knows they'll always get straight talk from me on my channel. Leo Slick also wrote, Joe, maybe you should consider a free Don't Be Fitchy bumper sticker with each purchase. LOL. I don't know about a free bumper sticker, but that's not a bad idea for merchandise in my store. I'm actually planning on selling merchandise here on my YouTube channel. Of course, I'm slow as can be. I never got around to it. But that's something I would probably consider selling, a Don't Be Fitchy bumper sticker. But I really need a push to get started. Mercedes Lux wrote a really good comment about buying from China sellers. I'm not going to read the whole comment. It's super long, and this video is going to be too long as it is. But basically what happened is she bought an item from a China seller that had 0 feedback. I mean, if you guys want to know a recipe for disaster, number one, a China seller alone is a recipe for disaster, and one with 0 feedback that's never done anything, Anyway, this guy had his account laying dormant. He started, I believe, in 2017, never did anything, and sold a vintage Barbie doll that was in great demand for a fraction of the price. I think you can realize where this story is going. Of course, Mercedes never did get the doll. She was scammed by this China seller. Guys, listen, I'm not telling you what to do, but if it looks too good to be true, it usually is. Use this, okay? All right? I have been buying and selling on eBay for 20 years. I have never bought from a China seller, and I'm proud of it. All right, let's get started with the main topic of today's video, which is how you handle difficult eBay buyers. The consensus of opinion seems to be that in the last year or two, the amount of buyers falsely claiming item not as described has risen greatly. I don't think anybody watching this video is going to argue with that. Now, I've been very lucky. I've been selling on eBay for 20 years, and I get a lot of returns. I've never been bashful about saying that, usually 3 a week. But I don't get many fishy buyers. Most of them are very honest, and they'll say, hey, I made a mistake, I bought the wrong size. They pay for the shipping back. I give them the item price back, but not the original shipping, and everything's fine. So lately I've been a lot busier than usual, as I told you. So this week I had 3 returns. Now that in itself means nothing. 3 returns for me is nothing. But all 3 were fishy in nature. What are the odds of that? That has never happened to me. I want to discuss the 3 returns because they have some idiosyncrasies that I think I need to make public, and I'd like you guys to know about this, although you probably know about it already. If you haven't experienced it yet, now you will. Return number 1 was the guy who broke the item. So this guy buys a $20 alloy wheel center cap from me. Those are the things that always cause me the most trouble because people always buy the wrong ones. So what happened is, apparently he tried to put it on and he broke the plastic tabs on the back. So he contacts me. He didn't open a return request right away. He contacted me and said, Joe, I just received the center cap. The clips on the back are broken. He takes a picture of the back of the cap and he gets pieces of paper, draws arrows on them to all the broken clips. And he says, this cap is unusable. I demand a full refund with original shipping. And if you want this cap back, you are going to pay the freight to get it back. Please respond as soon as possible. Now, what concerned me was his temperament. He came out ready for a fight. So before I did anything else, I said, let me see who I'm dealing with. I checked the guy's recent feedback left for sellers, and there is a generous amount of red and gray dots. So I know I've got myself a volatile eBayer. The guy came out with an attitude. Now, there have been times in my eBay career when I've received things not as described or broken. It has happened. What I always do is I write to the seller and I'll say something like this. Hi, I just received the items today and the clips on the back were broken. I noticed you didn't mention it in the listing and I wanted to know if you were aware of this. Please respond back to me when you get a chance. A nice, civil, earthly response. I don't come out screaming, yelling, making demands. I just don't get it. Anyway, to cut to the chase, I could see I was dealing with a volatile buyer. There is no way I'm going to pay for shipping for this broken cap, because I can see the cap is broken. He broke it trying to get it on. So that's not happening. So I wrote back to him and said, I shipped that hubcap personally, and I know the clips weren't broken. However, I can see right now through your picture that the clips on the back are broken and the cap is unusable. So there is no need to send it back to me. I will go ahead and give you a full refund for your original purchase price plus the original shipping. It was 20 bucks and $6.75 shipping. I did that. In this case, I call him the volatile eBay buyer. He's a guy who comes out copying an attitude. Why, I don't know. He broke the cap trying to put it on. All right, it happens. I get that. But that volatile attitude and the fact that he has a track record of leaving quite a few negs and neutrals concern me. I thought in this case, the best thing for me to do was just cut and run, and that's what I did. My second return was similar in nature, but not exactly. A guy had contacted me with an unsolicited best offer that I thought was reasonable. I accepted his offer and sent the items. He got them, and he wrote to me through the eBay contact system and said, "I'm very dissatisfied with these items. There are more scratches and dents than I can see in the picture. Even though you did say they were scratched and did have dents, the pictures are not that clear. I'm very unhappy with these hubcaps. I hereby demand a full refund with original shipping. And if you want these items sent back to you, you're going to pay the return shipping. And there's no two ways about it." I said, oh my God, somebody pissed in this guy's Cheerios. That's 2 in 1 week. 2 volatile eBayers. This guy included, I don't know how many, at least 5 pictures of the items. Now, he didn't damage anything, he didn't break anything. The items were exactly as described. I described them as scratched and damaged. That's why I was selling them cheap, and that's why I gave him the special deal. But he was dissatisfied with them. Now, what his temperament told me was that in the past he has had negative interaction with other eBay sellers where they sent him something not as described and refused to take it back. I could spot that right away. Now, being a 20-year eBayer, I know I have to take this return back, no questions asked. But this one's going to be different. I do want these items back because I know I can resell them, and I can probably even get more money than he paid me. Although these items do have scratches and damage, they are fully functional and they're in great demand, so I want these items back. I have no problem with him asking for the money back, but once again, I'm appalled at the attitude some of these people are starting to pull. I have never, ever contacted a seller and been so belligerent and demanding. I always start off in a friendly manner. Hi, I received the item and there's a problem. I was wondering if you were aware, etc., etc. So I wrote back to the guy and I said, hi, judging from the temperament of your letter, you've had some negative interaction with other eBay sellers in the past. Rest assured, I am not going to give you a hard time. I accept returns for 30 days for any reasons, no questions asked. You have nothing to worry about. The only thing I will insist on is that you return them through the eBay return system. That means you have to open a return and do it through the eBay flow. If you do not know how to do it, I will be more than glad to send you screenshots and show you how to do it. I do have one question for you though, and that question is, why did you take the time and trouble to send me 5 pictures of the items I sent you? I'm the guy who boxed them up. I know what the items look like. I just thought that was in there for a little fun. But anyway, within 3 minutes of me sending that letter out to him, he opened the return request. Okay? That was number 2. Again, I have no problem at all taking them back. If he don't like them, he don't like them. It's part of me doing business. I know I can resell them. But his attitude kind of was disturbing, like the first guy. I don't know why these guys are copping these attitudes all of a sudden. I have never had this happen in my 20 years on eBay. The third return was a real fishy return, unlike the other 2. This guy had 0 feedback and he was operating on a guest account. He buys a center cap that I would consider a dog, a $20 alloy wheel center cap. And I should have known better, because when I ship something out to a 0 feedbacker like that, who starts one of those guest accounts, and I have an inkling it's going to come back, I never send them a receipt. This way they have to contact me through the eBay contact system. This time I was lax. I sent them a receipt. So he circumvented eBay and called me directly. All right? I don't go for that. So he called me up and said, "You sent me the wrong size center cap." I said, "Don't you mean to say you purchased the wrong size center cap?" He said, "Well, yeah, that's exactly what I mean." I said, "Okay, now that we have that straight," I said, "if you want to return it, you have to do it through the eBay return system. I'll be more than happy to take it back. You bought the wrong size. I'll give you the $20 back." And I even took the time out to explain to him how to return the item. I said, "Be sure you check off wrong size doesn't fit," because he bought the wrong size. He then said to me, "Now I've noticed that you do have the right item in your eBay store. I want to exchange it even." I said, "That ain't happening. Okay, you can forget that right now." I said, "We're going to do one thing at a time here." I said, "Number one, you ship that item back to me and I'll give you the money back." I said, "If you want to buy anything else, that's down the road. Plus, keep in mind the item he does want is almost double the price of what he paid. So there's no way I'm going to make an exchange. It's not happening." So I know the item he wants. He told me the item number. I looked it up and I see it. So I said to him, "All right, here's what you do. File for the return. Wrong size doesn't fit. I'll approve it immediately. I get the item back. I'll give you the full refund and we'll move on from there." What does he do? He opens a return request saying, "Item not as described," so he doesn't have to pay the shipping back. So what he did was he checked off, "Pictures do not match description," which is totally false. And in the reason comment he writes, "Doesn't fit. Wrong size." So I called eBay up, concierge, to see what they would say about it, and they said, "We can't do anything about that. You have to draw him out and get him to admit that he purchased the wrong size. The fact that he wrote wrong size is too general. He may be saying you sent him the wrong size. You have to draw him out and get him to admit he bought the wrong size in the eBay contact info." I said, "Listen to me." I said, "I've been selling on eBay for 20 years. This guy just opened a guest account to buy this item. He's already circumvented eBay contact system and contacted me personally at my store." I said, "Do you think this man is actually going to answer an eBay contact letter if I send it to him?" I said, "People who have these guest accounts don't understand how eBay works." I said, "My time is precious. I'm not going to spend it trying to draw this guy out and get him to admit something. This is not spy versus spy here. My time's valuable." I said, "I'm going to take the loss and I'm going to pay the $6.75 return shipping and the original shipping." All right, which I did. I have no choice in the matter. But I got to thinking. I said, because this guy deceived me, I'm going to block him, which I did. But then I said, wait a minute. Blocking a guest account is really useless because he's only going to start another guest account. So what did I do? I ended the listing of the item he wants. This way I know there is no chance he will buy that item from me. I have ended the listing. I love it. I had to do it. It's the only way to save myself. It's an unusual item. It's not something you see on eBay all that much, but it was my only recourse in this. So guys, those are my 3 fishy return stories for the week. All 3 I did take back. I really had no problem taking any of them back, but the first 2 people copped an attitude with me which was really unneeded and unwarranted. I just don't understand that. So my question to you guys for the week is, when people buy items from you and they're dissatisfied, do they come on really strong like that? Or are they nice and friendly like I try and be when I buy something and it's not as described? I'm just curious about that because I've never experienced this in my 20 years on eBay, and here I get 2 volatile people in 1 week and 1 deceptive person. So that's been my week on eBay. Last night was Thursday night and we had our monthly eBay meetup. I have 2 guests in the studio, or I had 2 guests in the studio last night. Kathy Terrell, who you already know. She's an eBay seller and coach. And also a new person you've never seen before probably, Sam Cohn, $1 million Amazon seller. Amazon. I rarely talk about Amazon on this channel because I don't sell there. But Sam has some things he wants to tell you guys, and so does Kathy. So let's listen to them now, and I'll come back with some closing statements. Okay guys, it's Thursday evening, we're on 9th Avenue, and what, is it 50th?
Yeah.
We're in a coffee shop, and I have two guests for you. One you're going to know very well, the famous, popular eBay seller Kathy Terrell and eBay coach. And from Amazon we have Sam Cohn, $1 million seller. I'm going to turn the camera and mic over to them now. Now let me wait, don't start yet until I get a look at what I got here. Oh yeah, you're on.
Okay, so hi you guys. So what I was asking Sam, we just had a meetup, is because most of the people following Joe's channel are eBay sellers. And Sam is the king of Amazon, is if I'm an eBay seller, why should I be selling on Amazon, Sam?
So there's a lot of changes going on in e-commerce, both with eBay and with Amazon, and it really makes sense to diversify. There's a lot of eBay sellers that are struggling, their sales are down. There's a lot of Amazon sellers where their sales are down. So it really makes sense to sell on both marketplaces. We've also noticed a lot of our products sell on eBay, whereas they don't sell on Amazon, and vice versa. So it's totally different customers, totally different searches, and different people looking for different things. So it definitely behooves you to be on both marketplaces, and there's a lot of software that you can use which will help you mirror the listings if you're heavy on one marketplace and not the other. But definitely we've seen tremendous sales from eBay after being predominantly on Amazon for 8 years.
It's a great point, because a lot of times, Sam will work with the eBay sellers that are coming onto Amazon, and I'll end up working with the Amazon sellers that are coming onto eBay, which is you'll see a dip in sales on one platform, and rather than be in the forums and going, oh, my sales, what's happening to my sales, by being on Amazon and being on eBay, your overall business will grow. So perhaps you were selling 100% on Amazon or 100% on eBay, but by being on both platforms, rather than seeing a dip in sales, your business will continue to grow 20, 30, 40, 50. And like what Sam said, it's different customers on the two platforms. And a lot of times people forget that, like being in New York, different people shop at Nordstrom's than shop at Macy's, and that way you're appealing to both. That way your business keeps growing, and you're not one of those sellers that's complaining about where's my sales, where's my customers. Now, Sam, some sellers sell different things. So they'll sell, I'll use Joe as an example. They'll sell their hubcaps on eBay because you can't sell used auto parts on Amazon. And then on Amazon, they will sell toys. Do you deal with sellers that are like that, where they have two different or different assortment of things on the different platforms?
Yeah, so certain products lend themselves to certain marketplaces better, like I was telling the lady earlier. Sports memorabilia, collectibles, cards, coins, stamps, comic books, hubcaps, auto parts, all that stuff's going to do better on eBay than Amazon. And then if you're talking about, let's say, DVDs or something like toys, those are typically going to do better on Amazon as far as how much you're going to sell it for and how quickly it's going to sell and how profitably it's going to sell. So anything that's, vintage or discontinued or a collectible probably is better on eBay. What I like to do is if I have a unique item for sale, I just put it in Google and I check about 10 different marketplaces to see where's the best place to sell it.
That's a great tip. Now you've got a conference coming up that sellers can attend. Now what is that?
So we have our 4th annual Amazon Consulting Experts Conference. It's going to be located in Freehold, New Jersey.
When is that?
It's June 30th, 2019. It's on a Sunday. We're calling it Solstice. I don't know why, but that's what we chose.
Sounds nice.
Sounds nice. It's the right time of
Now,
year.
if I'm not an Amazon seller, is it going to benefit me to come? Like if I sell, let's say on Poshmark or eBay, or I have my own website, would I still get benefit from the concert?
Absolutely.
The concert.
Concert.
I'm
It's gonna be
thinking
a
concert.
concert,
I'm
too.
thinking solstice. I'm thinking t-shirts.
Yeah, we're going to have live music at the end, so we are going to have a
Sounds
concert.
great.
We're going to
But
have.
is it more of a multi-channel that I
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're going to have representatives from eBay and Amazon and Jet and Walmart.
Great.
And speakers and different software providers, different solution providers.
And if I'm more of a newer seller, would I get benefit as well as
Absolutely.
more experienced sellers?
We cover everything from solo entrepreneurs that want to do this as a part-time thing, all the way up to Fortune 500 companies
Fantastic.
that need to sell on Amazon.
Great.
So,
And you're in the top 1% of Amazon sellers,
Yes.
is that correct? Now, what does that mean? What kind of gross volume are you doing with this?
so we sell over $20 million a year on Amazon, and we just figured out collectively with all our clients, we sold over $2 billion with a B on Amazon. And we just signed exclusives with some big fashion companies that have no clue what they're doing on Amazon. So,
You're here to help them.
absolutely.
What I love with
New
Sam,
York City, baby.
and Sam came to our meetup tonight, is he's a square shooter. He tells you what's going on. And what I like about his conference, and I encourage Joe to come in, who just sells on eBay, is that it's information for no matter what level seller you are. And I'm an eBay seller. I do not sell on Amazon. And I learned being with Sam because what we talk about is sales, we talk retail, we talk sales strategy, we talk sourcing inventory, we talk sales tax, we talk the changing thing of e-commerce. But the big thing I see with successful sellers is you must be multi-channel.
Absolutely.
We both talked about when you first start selling, you definitely want to focus on one channel. I think people can really hurt themselves unless you have a huge staff, a huge operation. You really want to start on one channel, Amazon or eBay or Poshmark, Etsy, Walmart, whatever the channel is that you feel suits you best. Then once you learn that, then branch out.
Absolutely, I agree. It's very hard to master these marketplaces, so you should master one at a time, and then you could always, supplement supplement your business with other marketplaces, and eventually you'll have a bigger business. You can still do the same amount on Amazon or eBay, and then add the other marketplace. It'll just lift your overall business.
And just keep growing and growing. Sam, you're the best.
Thank
Joe,
you.
thanks for having us.
What do you guys think about the Crazy New York Driver Show?
We love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I just subscribed. I'm gonna watch the videos
See?
tonight.
And
Thank
then we're
you.
both going to say, rock on.
Rock on.
And peace.
And peace.
Peace. We're all
Okay.
crazy New York drivers.
That we are. That's a
Even
wrap.
in Florida, we see.
Before we go any further, guys, let's stop and take our first drink from the Fox News Cup O' Life. This is the Fox News Cup O' Life. Happy is he who drinks from it. Yeah! All right, guys, Sam mentioned that there's going to be an Amazon seller event coming up on June 30th. I'm going to put some information either in the description box or in the comment section below. I got to contact him later and get the link to that website. I think it's called Solstice, if I remember correctly, and it's June 30th. And I've been asked to attend, even though I am not an Amazon seller. I have not yet made a decision whether I'm going. It's going to be a Sunday. It's a one-day affair. It would make a good video, I can tell you that right now. And I've been told that there are going to be some eBay people there as well. But I'll talk more about that as the date draws near. I want to bring this to a close now because the video is running longer than usual. So yeah, guys, comments, questions, and concerns on anything eBay you want. I'm especially interested in people that contact you and want to return something. Do they sometimes cop an attitude, like the two people I mentioned earlier? This is something that's been foreign to me. It's never happened to me. And 2 in 1 week is really crazy. I honestly feel that these people came on strong because they've had issues in the past that maybe weren't resolved to their satisfaction. So what I tried to do in both cases was I tried to diffuse their hostility. and set them at ease, but at the same time pointing out an idiosyncrasy. For instance, with that second seller, I said, why did you send me 5 pictures of the hubcaps that I sent you? I've already seen them, you know? It's kind of like a double win. I set the guy's mind at ease. He's getting his return. It's not going to cost him a dime. He's fine. But I said to him, I mean, really? Those were as described. That being said, guys, I'm sure you know this, but I come out here every week and I make these videos to try and help you be successful on eBay. If you think I'm doing a good job, please leave me a thumbs up. It tells me I'm appreciated. If not, in the comment section below, please tell me what you want me to hit up next week, and I'll be glad to do it. I am a seller friend, not a seller critic or skeptic of any kind. I'm still making money online. I solved a lot of problems, and I've never worn a mask. That being said, go out there, rock on. I hope you make a ton of eBay sales this week. I will be here next week, and I guarantee you it'll still be cloudy and possibly even raining. So go out there, rock on, and peace! Yeah! And, of course, don't be fishy! Peace!